We here? We're here. Good evening, my darling batlings. It's been a while since I've been an active presence on YouTube. Basically, Twitch is, kind of shitty in general. So I'm trying out YouTube for a while, seeing how that goes. And I'm joined tonight, by JKR and Miles Above.
Hello.
Hello.
Way to be up on the fucking response, guys. Alright, so
I was
you
trying
may
to
see
think
in
of something funny to say, but I failed.
you may see in the title that it says something about Rockman Day. Now, for those of you that aren't like, for those of you who aren't in the Mega Man community, you may be wondering what Rockman Day is. It's an unofficial holiday for Mega Man fans that started in Japan. Can't bonk me with the bot on here. Yeah, YouTube doesn't really have as good bot integration as Twitch does. And that's unlikely to change, unfortunately. But anyways, Rockman Day. It happens every year on June the 9th, 6-9. Now, it happens on that specific day because 6 in Japanese is uro, and 9 in Japanese is ku, roku, or rok, as in Rokuman, the Japanese name of Mega Man. It's not like an officially sanctioned Capcom holiday, so unsurprisingly, Capcom's not celebrating it. I mean, hey, Capcom not celebrating a Mega Man anniversary, a Mega Man related thing. Birds fly, fish swim, and Capcom ignores Mega Man. What else is new? So I decided, you know what, since there's nothing on the horizon for Mega Man and it looks all doom and gloom, as is the usual state of the franchise ever since 2010, why don't I just try to liven things up a bit by playing the game that got me into Mega Man. Technically, the thing that got me into Mega Man was reruns of the Ruby Spears cartoon on Fox Kids, back when they used to have... Not Fox Kids, Fox Family. When they used to have a block called Made in Japan, where they would air anime and shows based on Japanese properties. Then, like, that eventually, later on the line, got me into the Mega Man games. With the first Mega Man game I ever played being Mega Man Legends, so it'll always hold a special place in my heart. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And I've come to terms with the very real, basically 100% possibility that's never going to get finished or even re-released on modern platforms consistently. But hey,
I mean,
do what I can to spread the word about how good this series is.
yeah.
So without further rambling...
Mega Man got something.
It got one game since 2010, and it's been 5 years since then with no confirmation that anything's being worked on. And the producer who's responsible for bringing the franchise back quit Capcom. It's never been more doom and gloom than now.
At least the same type of one as y'all. I mean, I still count freaking Battle Network, but not...
Well, yeah, but all we've gotten are collections of old games, which is what they did throughout the 2010s. And this isn't even the first time that Battle Network's been re-released. Hell, the last time they re-released Battle Network was on the Wii U eShop, and when they did that, they actually released all of them instead of just the numbered entries. So they included Battle Chip Challenge on the Wii U, but not in the Legacy Collection.
That's weird.
I mean, it's not unexpected, considering that historically Capcom's left out spin-off titles in these Legacy collections, like both of the classic series Legacy collections didn't include Mega Man and Base or any of the other classic series spin-offs. The X collections didn't include the Extreme games or Maverick Hunter X or what was it called? Command Mission.
Mm-hmm.
No, load.
Oh my goodness. I remember Mega Man Legends.
And I'm playing this on original hardware for authenticity's sake. Just, you know, to really get into the nostalgia mindset. There's a new Sonic game, yeah, I saw. There's a lot of discourse going on about, like, whether it's worth $60. And my take on it, other than the fact that whether it's 2D or not doesn't determine its price point, like some stupid people seem to think, it's that, why are you getting angry that any Sonic game is $60 at release? These games always go on sale like a week after they come out.
That's true, though. I got my Sonic Frontier for like $30. Like, what,
Sonic Frontiers was the first Sonic game in like 10 years to be $60 at launch, and it got price cuts almost constantly since then.
Over the years,
that's true.
The story of
like, if you're buying Sonic Frontiers, closest we can get to a AAA Sonic game for $60, you're doing something wrong.
So great that if it were discovered, it would provide so much power that the world.
So, like, even if you don't think that the new Sonic game is worth $60, and even if it ends up not being like $60 worth of content, it's not like it's going to be $60 for long.
Yeah.
Hey, Shadow Dragon, glad to see you here.
Charity, greed, duty.
So, thing about Mega Man Legends opening, you get this, like, opening narration that basically sets up the world, but if you wait at the title screen, you get a second opening.
Oh?
This was actually a pretty common practice in early PlayStation games. Like, Crash Bandicoot 1 and Crash Team Racing both had intro videos that didn't play unless you waited at the title screen.
No, yeah, I remember with Crash Bandicoot, yeah. The whole but Dr. Cortex, we have not determined the cause of past failures.
Moron! But because Cortex hadn't been voiced by Clancy Brown yet, so he sounded wrong. Moron! This Bandicoot will be my general, and he will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination! This time I will be triumphant! Persona 3 Remake got leaked, yeah, and another leak says that it's not going to be quote-unquote definitive, whatever that means. What that means to me is that whatever content's not in it at launch is going to be included in an updated re-release that is sold for full price, and that there's no way to upgrade to if you bought the vanilla launch. Because, hey, Persona Atlas fans in general can get fucked for buying vanilla games.
It's true.
Anyways, this is technically our first introduction to the man, the myth, the legend, Teaselbon.
Flawless operation, same as the last one. I swear this treasure will be ours or my name's not Bond.
Let's do it! I would kill to get a chance to voice Teaselbon in something. He is one of my favorite Mega Man characters.
Yes.
Even though his voice actor is an absolute... Well, he's dead now, so it's okay to say he's a piece of shit. It's not like... What, is he gonna sue me for saying that he's a piece of shit? For being a PDF file?
PDF.
Yeah, on YouTube, you have to be really careful about using that specific term.
I mean, what's the worst you could do? Come back and haunt you?
It's like I said when I saw the news that he died. Rest in piss, never miss.
Don't jinx us, because we're going to end up creating another Will Smith situation.
Now, you see, Will Smith wasn't dead.
No, I know.
There was just an army of Will Smiths. So, like, if you are someone who played the Legends games when they came out, you probably remember that Mega Man sounded a lot different in Legends 2 compared to how he sounds here. He sounds more like a boy here, while he's clearly voiced by a woman in Legends 2. Reason for that is because they wanted to use his voice actor from Legends 1, but he was like 14 when he did Legends 1, and his voice dropped a lot between Legends 1 and Legends 2, because that was like a 3-year time gap.
Oh, wow.
So they couldn't use him without him sounding way too old for a 14-year-old Mega Man.
Right.
So they used, I'm trying to remember her name. Susan Roman took over the role of Mega Man for Legends 2. Because the dub was recorded in Canada. So, and she's a Canadian voice actress, so she ended up playing the role.
I'm picking something up on my screen. Looks like a Reaver bot. You'd better get out of there.
If we get another Mega Man game from Capcom, it'll probably be another Legacy Collection. I'm burnt out on Legacy Collections at this point. Like, why should I keep buying old games if we're not going to get new games?
Right.
Like, if they... I'm not interested in Star Force, but for collection's sake, I'll buy it. If they do a Legends Legacy Collection or any... or... like, here's the thing. Everyone's saying that Legends is the least likely to get a Legacy Collection. Try saying that 5 times fast. I say that Legends, because of how archaic its control style is, and that being a huge barrier to entry for potential newcomers, unlike any other Mega Man sub-series, they either need to like, straight up add in a more modern control style, like they did with the Resident Evil 1 remake remaster, or they need to remake the games from the ground up.
Yeah.
Which would be, like, better than a Legacy Collection, in my opinion. Because, yeah, I am 100% like an advocate for old games being re-released in their original forms on modern hardware. Obviously, I'm a preservationist.
Do you see a door?
But in some cases, you're not going to get that newcomer demographic if there's not certain concessions made to modern standards.
Yeah.
Like, if they released any of the older Resident Evils, not counting, like, you know, like direct PS1 ports, but like if they re-released, like, Resident Evil 1 Remake and Resident Evil 0 HD without more modern control schemes, they wouldn't have sold as well. Because the only people that are willing to put up with tank controls are people who grew up in that era. Like, if you don't have to have tank controls, which you never do on modern hardware, then you need to either add in an option for modern controls or just remake the game. And I think that a Legends remake in the vein of the Resident Evil remakes would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
But I highly doubt that would happen. Because Capcom seems to have this idea that because Mega Man Legends didn't sell well over 20 years ago, with the literally zero marketing they gave it, and releasing it at the tail end of the PS1's life cycle, when, especially Legends 2, when the PS2 was already out, that means that no one will buy Legends in the modern day when there's a lot more eyes on it for its cult classic status.
Right.
Yeah, especially since Legends 1 isn't analog supported. Legends 1 has the excuse of coming out before the DualShock was, like, not only introduced, but bundled with new consoles. Legends 2 technically has analog support, but it's not, like, what you would consider proper analog support by modern standards. It's more like, tank controls split across 2 analog sticks.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
Technically, you can play On the PS3 version, you can play Mega Man Legends 1 and Misadventures of Tron Bonne with analog control, but it's not true analog. It just maps the D-pad to the left stick and maps the face buttons to the right stick. And like I've never actually developed a game on my own, and I've obviously never ported anything. So I am not like someone who's going to say like, oh, adding modern analog controls to a PS1 game is easy. Of course it's not that easy. But I feel like that's an extra step that needs to be taken in a potential re-release of the Legend series, just to make it more palatable to newcomers. Because, like, everyone talks about two things about Legends. How it's a great cult classic series that never got a proper finale, and how its controls are really cumbersome.
Sounds about right.
Those are the two main things you hear about. The third thing being how hot Tron Bonne is.
You know, I just realized.
What?
I think I found Mega Man Legends one time when I was a kid.
Mega Man, I'm
At
showing a
Blockbuster. I
large
think it was
blip in front of you.
N64 version.
Yeah, it got ported to N64, but it was... Yeah, it got ported to N64, but they called it Mega Man 64 instead of Mega Man Legends.
Yeah, I just randomly found it one day. I didn't even know what it was. I just liked Mega Man because of the TV show that was being aired that you talked about.
Can you hear me?
So when I found it, I was just like focusing on it. But I don't remember there being any form of advertisement even for that version.
There were no TV commercials for any of the PS1 Mega Man games, to my knowledge, outside of Japan. Like, there's literally only one advertisement for Misadventures of Tron Bonne. And that's kind of reigned true for Mega Man outside of Japan its entire run, where Capcom doesn't give it any marketing push like they do to Resident Evil, Street Fighter, and their other series, and then it doesn't sell well, and then they wonder why it doesn't sell well. It's because no one knows that's out.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back now, I think the most I've seen anyone do any form of advertising for a Mega Man game is probably in the Battle Network series.
Yeah, the Battle Network collection has genuinely gotten the biggest marketing push out of any Mega Man game in decades, and that is weird.
I think because everyone loved
And as a result, it's gone on to be the fastest selling and one of the best selling Mega Man anythings ever. See what happens when you promote your games?
Right.
Look at that sky.
It's like, oh, if we let people know that a game is coming out and show off, frequently show off stuff to get excited about, people will want to buy it.
Right.
As opposed to, especially 2000s era Mega Man, where I remember the only commercials you ever saw for Mega Man on TV in the 2000s were the same commercial that they just swapped out the game footage of every year to show what was currently on store shelves. Otherwise, it was the same commercial every year that didn't even tell you, like, Mega Man, like, for example, it wasn't like Mega Man X5 on store shelves now or Mega Man Battle Network on store shelves now. It was like 3 new Mega Man games on store shelves now. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really a case where, like, Capcom seems to expect it to sell on brand recognition alone, but they don't understand that in order for people to recognize the brand, you have to advertise it.
Yeah.
It's like the only series they don't understand how to market is Mega Man, because no other Capcom franchise has this problem.
Exactly. They in trouble with that, man. There's that lone seagull.
Yeah. This opening sequence just lives rent-free in my head because it's such a good way of introducing not just this Mega Man, but like
Nice
how
timing,
this
Roll.
world
Anytime,
works.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mega Man.
And as my first Mega Man game, I didn't understand that, like how this tied into the overarching lore and all this stuff. I didn't care about that. It was just cool.
And we were able to get a
Like, I didn't have an N64, so I couldn't play Ocarina of Time. So this was my Ocarina of Time.
Wait, was it really?
Don't worry, we'll find it someday.
Yeah, I didn't have an N64, you know that.
Thanks. I know we
Oh
will.
yeah, it's been a while since I
I literally just got one like a year or two ago.
I guess the flutter's in worse shape than
I remember you
thought.
having the PlayStation 1 because you all used to play games together.
Yeah. I wanted an N64 in addition to my PlayStation 1, but my parents wouldn't get it for me because they thought it was just a PlayStation with a different controller.
Someplace to sit down.
And then the GameCube came out. I remember when we got those.
Yeah, I got the GameCube, because that was a Christmas gift from my grandma. And that was, like, apart from the Game Boy, which I got along with my PS1, the GameCube was, like, my proper introduction to Nintendo. God, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, going back to the N64 port of Mega Man Legends, that is genuinely an impressive port.
Really?
Because it like, typically when you saw PS1 games released on N64, they would cut out all sorts of content to fit it onto a cartridge, onto the smallest cartridge available, because cartridges are expensive to produce. Mega Man Legends and Resident Evil 2 are a case where they managed to fit damn near everything from the PS1 version on an N64 cart. Legends had more cuts than Resident Evil 2 did, but it includes all the voice acting, almost all the music, and all of the cutscenes.
We've been pushing her so hard.
The only bits of music that were cut are the end credits theme and the record store samples.
Looks like the repairs aren't going to be finished anytime soon.
And it introduced analog controls.
For a while, I guess.
It was basically like
Mega Man.
mapping. It was basically more like tank controls than proper analog, but
Think you could go take a
still
look around?
like, you know, a bit easier to adapt to on N64 controller than trying to do what Legends does on PS1, where it's like shoulder buttons for turning. I actually find this to be easier to adapt to than tank controls, in my opinion.
It's monkey.
Yeah. Do the monkey with me! Huh!
Johnny Bravo before Johnny Bravo.
I mean, no, Johnny Bravo came out way before this. Johnny Bravo was like 92, I think.
I don't remember that because I thought Johnny Bravo came out when I was still young enough. But not.
Johnny Bravo had been on the air for a while when we were both young.
I need to look it up. So I'm curious now.
Like, Johnny Bravo was one of the first Cartoon Network original shows.
1997.
1997, so it was one... Technically, Legends came out in 1997 in Japan, but didn't see an international release until 1998.
It was out in July of 97.
Yeah, so that would predate Legends by a few months.
Gasp. So Johnny Bravo came before the monkey.
Yeah, but the monkey's an actual dance. It's just... Johnny Bravo, like, that was his signature dance. In this game, it's like, it's a pun. It's a monkey doing the monkey.
Yes, the best type. The only one that should be able to do the monkey is the monkey and Johnny Bravo.
Also, IIRC, the audio was compressed compared to the PS1, unsurprisingly. Yeah, they had to compress the shit out of the speech in Mega Man Legends, and especially Resident Evil 2, in order to fit all that onto a cartridge. Because you gotta remember, with Nintendo 64, not only were cartridges expensive to manufacture because you had to use the proprietary ones made by Nintendo, the highest size that Nintendo allowed was 64 megabytes.
but it looks like everyone's all right.
Compared to the roughly 400 to 700 megabytes you could fit on a PlayStation CD.
Now, I'd like to ask one of you to come with me to the
So-
station.
How
We
did
need you to
the
fill out
monkey
some
heal
immigration
Mega Man? Did you just
forms
do the monkey and it just heals him?
so you can get your registration. and
There's never like an explanation for how Data heals Mega Man.
Don't worry.
But like the explanation for like what Data's whole deal is that like Mega Man in the backstory for Legends was discovered by Professor Barrel, old man right here, inside a ruin as a baby suspended in a crystal, and Data was there with him.
Oh.
Like he found Data and Mega Man together, and he took him in as like sort of an adopted grandchild. And Roll was the one who named Mega Man after, like, in the Japanese version, his name's not Mega Man, it's Rock. And in the, they kind of carried that thing of like Roll giving Mega Man his name in the English version, but it comes off more clunky because it's like Roll decided to name her adopted brother Mega Man after her favorite video game character in the English translation.
That's funny.
Whereas in the Japanese version, she named him Rock. So his full name in the Japanese version is Rock Walnut. Whereas in the English translation, his full name is Mega Man Walnut.
I mean, honestly, Rock Walnuts actually rolls off the tongue a lot better.
Yeah, it also causes a few like translation kerfuffles with the plot twist at the end of the game. Like, I don't feel bad spoiling Mega Man Legends because this is a over 20-year-old game, nearly 30-year-old game. Like, if you don't know how it goes now, then that's your fault for not playing it. We get introduced to a character called Mega Man Trigger. Well, Mega Man Juno, and Mega Man Juno reveals that Mega Man is actually part of the Mega Man Purifier Unit series of Guardians of the Master System. So that means that in, like, this is a big deal in the Japanese version because he's grown up thinking his name is Rock, but he gets told that his name is Rockman Trigger. Whereas by complete coincidence in the English version, it's like, oh, you grew up thinking your name was Mega Man, but it's actually Mega Man Trigger. They just happened to coincidentally get the Mega Man part right. Let's see. We could go straight ahead into, like, progressing the story, but I always like to, you know, this was, like, the first expansive explorable world I ever played in a game, because I didn't play many RPGs growing up at that period. So, like, oh my god, there's a market, there's a record store, you can listen to, like, CD samples. These are the things that were cut out of the N64 version entirely. Because, you know, why include these audio files for a completely optional listening station? There's one on here somewhere that's supposed to be heavy metal. I want to play that because chiptune not chiptune, but MIDI heavy metal. Here we go. Hell yeah! Mega Man Trigger almost feels like a DMC reference with Devil Trigger. You could work that in, but Legends predates the beginning of Devil May Cry's development by several years. Legends started development in like the beginning of the PS1's life cycle. Whereas Devil May Cry 1 didn't start like active development as Devil May Cry as we know it now until 2000. Devil May Cry has a whole convoluted history of how it came into being. The famous story of Devil May Cry was a rejected Resident Evil 4 pitch, but it actually goes a bit further than that. I found out through research for a video I've been working on, where it turns out that it wasn't just it didn't work as a Resident Evil game, so Kamiya decided to turn it into the coolest fucking thing ever. Originally it wasn't even going to be supernatural themed. It was going to be more cyberpunk. With Dante, well, he wasn't called Dante yet at that point. He was still being called Tony Redgrave. The idea was that the source of his powers was going to be a mystery, and the plot twist would be that he's like a bionically enhanced human.
I kind of like the fact that they went with the more supernatural aspect rather than the...
Yeah, they went with the more supernatural aspect with the idea to make Devil May Cry a loose adaptation of Dante's Inferno, which is where Dante gets his name from and why his brother's named Virgil.
Right.
By the way, this is one of my favorite recursive things. Mega Man Legends exists as a game within Mega Man Legends. It's like that one tweet about the Super Mario Brothers movie where Nintendo exists as a company within the Mario movie universe, meaning that Nintendo can and will likely send a cease and desist to the Mario Brothers for copying the climax to their games in real life. Hey Kier, glad to see you here. Didn't know, well, you've been having PC issues, so I opted out of asking you to join tonight. Also, there's some dirty magazines on the racks. This is the kind of stuff you could only get away with in kids games in the mid-90s. It might be fun to look at them. But there's so many people around. You'd get in trouble if someone saw you. This not only implies that they keep their porn right out front and center in the bookstore, but it also implies that they don't keep them sealed inside plastic bags like they do in real life. Like, imagine you go to, like, Barnes & Noble, and you go to the magazine section, there's just Playboy with plastic titties on, the front cover, completely uncensored. No protective vinyl bag to shield it from children's eyes. That's basically what this bookstore is like. You got something that may help retrieve data? Good. Very good.
Scusi, un momento.
Scusi, babadaboopy? Oh yeah, he's gone. I'll have to wait back for that. I'll have to wait till he gets back for that. By the way, if you notice that my voice sounds a bit shot, it's because I recently found out that my tonsils are kind of fucky-wucky. They're not infected, thankfully, to my knowledge. They're just swollen. I may need to get them removed, but as a result, it's made my throat incredibly dry. But, you know, we'll play it by ear, see how it goes. Also, yes, I do have to kick the can into the bakery every time because it's a free 1,000 zenny. And yes, this is where I got the name for my Twitch channel points from, because this was the first Mega Man game to use zenny as currency. I don't think it was the first Capcom game, too. If I remember correctly, Breath of Fire was the first? I may be misremembering. I know that's also seen usage in Monster Hunter as its form of currency.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I mean, my dry throat might also be because of the wildfire smoke going on.
All of us are being hit by it, I think, at this point.
Fucking Canada blowing their secondhand smoke in our faces.
I know, right? Why?
DBZ Budokai Series 2 and the anime. Well, I'm talking about Capcom releases. Capcom, to my knowledge, is... well, of course Capcom hasn't worked on a Dragon Ball Z game. It's like, the merchandising and tie-in rights are owned by Bandai. But, like, the reason that Dragon Ball Z uses Zenny, even though it's spelled differently than the way Capcom spells it, is because Zenny was actually an old form of currency in feudal Japan. Like, I wouldn't say, like, it was like, oh, the feudal Japanese yen. Because it was more so like Japan in the feudal era was divided up into a whole bunch of like different sort of states, you could call them, within the Japanese islands, and they all had their own like different economies. It's sort of like how medieval England didn't have like a single king. It was a whole bunch of like kingdoms within one island. Like, there's a reason that the feudal era is more accurately referred to as the Warring States period. Because they were constantly at war with each other. The time has come, and so have I. But it's not June the 6th. You missed it, my dude. It's June the 9th. It's Rockman Day. Or 69 Day. Nice.
I wanted to say that.
A Mega Man Legends anime would have been interesting. Yeah, I think a Legends anime would have been more interesting than a Star Force anime. To my understanding, the Star Force anime didn't go on for very long. Because, like, Star Force didn't just captivate people. Just didn't captivate people like Battle Network did. Like, here, like, you know how people say, like, oh, Classic is the face of the franchise because it's the one everyone knows. Bullshit. The highest-selling Mega Man franchise, if we look at sales numbers of the entire series, is Battle Network. Mega Man Classic has the highest-selling individual games. As in, like, Mega Man 2 was the highest selling of the entire Mega Man franchise until that was dethroned by Mega Man 11. But in terms of, like, series-wide sales, the highest selling was Battle Network, because it never saw any major dips like Classic X and Zero did.
True.
That Namco X Capcom opening, it still bugs me that Namco X Capcom never got released outside of Japan, because it's the only time post PS1 that we've seen the Legends characters outside of a fighting game. Well, no, there was a mobile game that was considered lost media for a while until some very intrepid fans rescued it from obscurity. I don't know if it's playable on emulators very easily, but you can find a translated playthrough online. Like, it makes me so happy that a lot of, like, early mobile phone games have been preserved in some form. Like, the entire Nokia N-Gage library, to my knowledge, has been preserved, including games that were never released on the N-Gage. because, you know, the N-Gage was a massive flop. But then there's still a few outliers there. Like, Kingdom Hearts V-Cast has still not been preserved in a playable state. They found the ROM. The problem is no currently existing mobile phone emulators can run it. Sheba, glad to see you. I've been tired lately, too. Part of it's the anemia, and part of it's just, like, I don't know, I've been kind of in a slump this week.
Yeah.
Hope stream's been going sexy. I've had less bitrate issues here than I've had on Twitch, so that's a plus. Hoping I don't jinx that. I'll knock on wood to be safe. There, I just knocked on wood. Because I have a wooden-topped, like, not lap desk. It's sort of a desk that's, like, easy to move. I don't know what you would call it. It's not a lap desk because it doesn't sit on your lap, but it's like a computer desk. I guess you could call it. I had to assemble it myself, and, apparently it doesn't assemble very well because it's got one screw that keeps coming out. Because apparently the screw isn't, either the screw or the hole isn't threaded properly. It was a cheap piece of Amazon furniture. You can't complain too much. Did I tell the wood it was cute? I don't know how sussy I can get on YouTube. Twitch is kind of more wild than YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta be careful more than likely a little bit.
By the way, man, there was something I wanted to tell you, Shiva, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, yeah. Like, obviously, I'm still planning on paying off the rest of those commissions for you. It's just that I planned on doing it this month, but then I had to spend most of my monthly allowance on replacing some stuff that broke unexpectedly. So I'm just kind of fucked for the entire month now. But I also have, like, you know, some commission ideas in mind for you. Not just for, like, you know, so I can get more art from you, but also to hopefully help you with your computer issues. Getting you, you know, one that... If I end up not being able to send you my my spare PC for some reason, then at the very least helping you get a replacement. There you go, Kier. There's something you and Shiva can bond over. Having PC issues at the same time. Thanks for saving my husband. Here's the parts you need to build landmines. I love how the Legends universe works. Okay, this bit right here. This flew over the heads of basically everyone who played this in English. Was your name Mega Man or Hippopotamus? This makes no sense in English, but it's a pun in Japanese. Because Mega Man's name in Japanese is Rokuman, or he would just go by Rock or Roku at this point, because, you know, he, like I went over earlier, his Japanese name is Rock Walnut. Hippopotamus in Japanese, if I remember correctly, is Urokuko. So, it's a pun. It doesn't work in English, though, so they just translate it literally.
I wonder what she would have reacted if you said your name was Hippopotamus.
If you say hippopotamus, she just says hippopotamus. That's a weird name. And then that's the only difference. Cookie dough ice cream is even yummier. Bruh, I just got some cookie dough ice cream yesterday. I haven't had it in a while. I haven't had ice cream in a while. So I was craving something sweet in general. So I got some cookie dough ice cream. Nestle Toll House cookie dough ice cream. Surprisingly not all that good. It's just like kind of generic. I found that Tillamook the cookie dough ice cream is better. Because not only does it have more cookie dough chunks in it, but it's cookie dough flavored ice cream instead of vanilla.
Ooh.
My doctor says that I need to lose weight, and I say that I need to lose weight, and here I am buying ice cream.
Mega Man, were you able to find anything? Oh. If you can't find any parts in town, I guess we'll have to try digging for them ourselves.
That's what the man at the junk store said.
That might take a while. Which means...
Last time you had ice cream was mint ice cream. I've never liked mint ice cream. Like, I like mint-flavored stuff in general. I just don't like it in ice cream form. It's the juxtaposition between the minty flavor and the sweetness of the ice cream. It doesn't hit right for me.
You mean we can use this car? Well, come on then. Let's get it attached right away.
Strawberry cheesecake ice cream? That sounds good. I'm not a strawberry fan, but, like, still, that sounds pretty damn good. As far as berries go, I'm more of a raspberry person.
There's a limited number of mines, so make sure you use them sparingly.
Cookies and cream is good. Cookies and cream is baller, dude. Oh, I didn't mean to repeat it. And thankfully, she's still not as annoying as the owl from Ocarina of Time. Because you can actually speed through all of her dialogue. Well, you can speed through the owl's dialogue, but he says so fucking much.
Well, speaking of owls, hey, Miles.
I've been looking for you so I could give you this.
I think someone in this call is possessed by an owl.
Citizen's card.
Huh?
Close
now
enough.
You'll be able to use the city gates. Of course, there are some gates that can't.
Close enough.
Not functioning at 100%.
Why's that?
Oh, I get it now.
We've
Yeah, I'm not
received
saying
information
that. Nice try,
that
though.
indicates there are some headed this way. So as a precaution, we're evacuating the civilians and locking the gates.
Pirates? Our grandfather is still inside the city. Will he be all right?
Well, I'm sure he's heard the announcements about the pirates. If I see him, I'll make sure he gets to a safe place. If you'll excuse me.
Genuinely the most effective police force in any Mega Man game, and they're still useless at stopping the pirates.
I'll go look for him. You wait here.
Okay, Mega Man. Be careful.
Real talk, though. This game's graphics have aged wonderfully compared to most of the PS1 library. And it's all down to the fact that they use sprites for facial details instead of, like, vector animation or going the Metal Gear Solid route of not having faces at all. like, it not only makes it look more like a moving anime, it makes it so, it just, like, looks better with age, than a lot of PS1 era animations. Like, unless you were Naughty Dog or Insomniac, your, facial animations were usually pretty shit.
Yeah.
Like, just look at Ape Escape's, Ape Escape PS1's facial animation, where you can barely tell that their mouths are moving most of the time. This is the only time you have to use the walk, and it's less of a walk, it's more of a strut. I mean, look at that. That is a stride. That is a man who has swagger and knows it. That is a man who knows he's going to get so many bitches after him throughout this series, but he's not going to go after any of them because he don't need no bitches. That is a Sigma strut. Unintentional, considering that this is Mega Man.
I was wondering
Okay, got
that
it? Once the decision's
Ah,
made,
here we
there's
go,
no
the introduction
turning
of one of my first waifus.
Nothing less than 100%. And remember, it's
And,
more than just guns
those,
and ships.
fan comics by Koba T.
It's
Arts, or
whoever
however
has
you
the
pronounce his
most
name,
information that wins, right?
has, reinvigorated my interest in Tron Bond, shall we say.
You need to keep your costs and risks as low as possible and stay on schedule.
If you're at all interested in what I'm talking
That's
about,
right.
it's a ongoing series of Mega Man X Tron comics. Not Mega Man X, but Mega Man shipped with Tron comics called Tron Bon and Mega Dweeb, if I remember correctly. They're good for two reasons. One is because he draws Tron Bon thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. And the other reason is because he portrays Mega Man as completely clueless. And that's, for this Mega Man in particular, that's fitting.
Yep.
Like, my favorite one of those comics so far is one where, like, it's the only one to my knowledge that has Roll in it. Where, like, she's wearing, you know, an Idol outfit, and she's like, hey, Mega Man, my old Idol outfit still fits. And then it shows Tron wearing hers, and it's, like, extremely skimpy, and she says, mine doesn't, Mega Man. And Mega Man's response to the two of them wearing skimpy, like, basically cheerleader outfits is, hold on, I'll go get you guys some clothes that fit.
I'm kind of tired all of a sudden. I might go to bed, honestly.
Fair enough. You've had a hell of a day, to my knowledge.
Yes, I have. It's been crazy.
If you need to head off early, that's perfectly fine.
I appreciate it. It's been a long day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe.
All right. I'm not sure if I'm probably not going to be streaming tomorrow, because I'm going to have a busy day tomorrow. Might stream on Sunday.
Okay.
We'll see.
Alright, keep me in the loop.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see you guys sometime.
All right. Later, Miles. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Mega Man! Come to check
Okay,
up on
like,
me, eh?
real talk here. Even though it's not the same voice actor from either dub, is it just me,
Amelia.
or does Professor Barrel sound a lot like Master Roshi?
It kind of does.
Considering that this is also a voice cast from Canada.
While I was in school.
Yeah.
It's a small world, isn't it?
To tell you the truth, we've gotten reports that there are some pirates headed.
Also, Susan Roman as the voice of Mayor Amelia here. She would later go on to voice Mega Man himself in Legends 2, but Sailor Moon fans might know her as Sailor Jupiter from the Deke dub.
There are a lot of stories about the treasure, but no one knows exactly what it is. I thought maybe you might know something about it, Professor.
I've been in the digging business a long time, but I
A lot of the, to my knowledge, not a lot of the Mega Man Legends voice cast has been in all that much else. The only other thing I've seen one of the primary voice actors in, apart from Susan Roman, is, I can't remember her name, but the actress who voices Tron was also in a show called Spider Riders.
I remember Spider Riders.
I can't remember what character she voiced in it because I had not heard of it until I saw it on her resume. But that is like the only other thing that I know of that one of these voice actors has been in.
Let's see, I'm looking up the name of her voice actor because I need to see.
She has two voice actors because when she appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they gave her a new voice actress. Like they did for all the Mega Man characters that appeared in that game. And by all the Mega Man characters, I mean just Tron and Zero. It's solely because of fighting games that we've had Johnny Young Bosch as the voice of Zero. Because we haven't had a new Mega Man X game since, I think, like 2006.
Right.
Not counting X-Dive. That does not count. That's like saying, that's like saying, I love the new Devil May Cry game, Devil May Cry 4 Refrain on iPad. Or saying like, I'm a huge,
What are you staring at?
Or saying like, God, what's another good example? Because there's not really any good examples of, like, series existing only nowadays through mobile gacha games. Also, X-Dive is getting ready to shut down in September, so no reason to start playing it now.
Hey, cut it out!
Now, this scene here is particularly infamous in the Mega Man Legends fan community because if you're playing the Japanese version, you get an alternate way to resolve this scenario.
Down, boy.
Oh
Down.
no.
In the international versions, all you can do is talk down the dog, and dog just, like, leaves in a huff.
Yeah.
In the Japanese version, you can kick the dog, and it runs away.
Fuck that shit.
There's a surprising amount of animal abuse in Mega Man Legends.
Yep.
Like, in the Japanese version, you could also shoot the seagulls that you see around town.
Business.
Okay. Seagulls, I can get behind.
And, the only obstacles you run into in the old city part of Cadillacs Island are, junkyard dogs that attack you on sight. You're not allowed to shoot them, but you can kick them.
Yeah.
And I don't like that part because I don't like kicking dogs.
Right.
That is the worst way to deal with an angry dog.
Yeah. Definitely.
Mega Man was like Dio then. He wasn't like Dio with the dog abuse, okay? Dio burned a dog alive. Okay? Dio is still worse.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
Also, if I had a nickel for every time an immortal vampire lord was voiced by Patrick Seitz in an English dub, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it's awesome that it happened twice. But yeah, I just recently finished part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so I can say I am a newly formed JoJo fan, and I love Dio as a villain so far, cause like he is just unrepentantly despicable. Like, there's no, like, attempt to try and humanize him. He's just a bastard from day one. And sometimes that's all you need for an effective villain.
Where's Gramps? What? He's talking with the mayor at City Hall? I hope he'll be okay. By the way, did you see those weird-looking ships that just flew past here?
If you do fall asleep,
I've never
then
seen anything
have a
like
good
that
sleep,
before.
Angelic Sheba.
I wonder whose they are. There goes one. Huh? What's that noise? Sounds like... Oh no! They're attacking the city! Gramps is still in there! Mega Man!
So there's
I'm
a
going to go
fun
make
thing
sure
you
he's
can do
all
with
right.
roll here that I'm going to attempt. You only get one shot at it. So, I'll attempt it, and we'll see if I can pull it off.
And the back.
Welcome back. I'm going to
Sorry,
try
I had to
something with...
pop out like
I'm
that.
going to try something with roll here that you only get one shot at. Here we go.
Oh no.
Fucking bulldozes him! God damn, roll!
Can't stop for no man.
Roll, more like steamroll. And, you don't have wireless headphones, do you, JKR?
No, I do not.
Okay, so you missed out on the, comment I made about, JoJo earlier. About the voice cast specifically.
Yeah,
Between, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and, Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, if I had a nickel for every time that Patrick Seitz voiced an immortal vampire lord, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's awesome that it happened twice.
I actually did hear that. I muted my mic, but I heard you say something just before I walked away. So I actually held the headphones up to my ear just to hear what you were saying.
Alright. I've got... This is why you, spam, kicking the, can into the the bakery. Because it allows you to just get overpowered really quickly. Alright, I think we should be good for now.
I just happened to see what Kier posted in chat.
Yeah, and number 46 for the Green Bay Packers, roll! I don't know why I read that like the fucking, cryogenics lab dude from Futurama. Welcome to the world of tomorrow!
What part of Cadillacs are you from? Downtown.
Really? Well, I'm from Apple Market, and I've never heard anyone use the phrase steamed hams.
Hold it right there.
Tuca.
You can't go in there. This area's closed off.
Please, officer, let us through. Our grandfather's in there and...
You can't go in either.
There's an artist that I
It's
follow.
dangerous.
I believe he goes by Captain
What's
Taco,
happening?
if I remember correctly.
Those pirates have attacked
Very
the
talented
island,
artist, has his own comic
just
series.
like they said they would.
Official artist for my friend
after the
Mistress Dove,
treasure
who
that's
has a new
supposed to be
video
buried
out
here.
that you should all check out
Enough
on
talk.
Hi-Fi
You
Rush.
have to leave here now.
He was recently talking about how,
They
like,
occupy
you know,
the
the whole
gate over
debate in the Spider-Man fandom
Too heavily
about,
armed.
like, Miles Morales shouldn't be called Spider-Man because the only Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And the way he summarized it is Peter is Spider-Man Queens, Miles is Spider-Man Brooklyn.
Let me handle this.
And not only is that a good take, but it opens the possibility for Spider-Man Utica. Spider-Man Albany, who refers to hamburgers as steamed hams.
What can a single boy possibly do?
I fucking love the Surfbots. Surfbots, instantly iconic.
We're pirates. You better watch out for
There's a
us.
reason that they're so widely used in Capcom promotional material, even though Mega Man Legends is dead and buried.
So there.
They're just an instantly lovable design.
We'll be in big trouble if we let anyone through.
Like, it's to the point where I don't know if they still do this, but at one point, a way that they would assess whether they were going to hire someone for 3D modeling was they would have them model a Surfbot. And the reason they would have them do a Surfbot specifically is because Surfbots have very specific proportions that are easy to get wrong. So it was a way to judge whether someone's good at paying attention to detail. Have a good night, Shadow Dragon. Now, if I were speedrunning this, I would obviously go after the robot that's holding the key, because that's all you need to do to beat this section. But I am using this as an opportunity to get lots of Zenny, so I always take down all three.
Nice.
And it's not like you're on a timer anyway. So there's no real reason not to take all three of them down unless you just don't want to waste your time. Also, you can abuse the Surfbots once their mechs have been defeated. It gets even better in Misadventures of Tron Bonne when the bird bots are introduced, because not only can you like shoot the bird bots after their mechs have been destroyed, but you can order your Surfbots to capture the bird bots, and then you can sell them back at your home base. Alright, there's the key, but I'm not gonna get it yet. I could get it right now, but that's not how I roll. Pun intended. Also, I didn't understand as a kid, like, why all of the Bond family machinery has the names they do. They're all German names.
Oh.
It's part of a, it's just part of a naming scheme. All of Tron's inventions are just German names. Like, the airships that they have are called Drak. These mechs that they're piloting are called Bloombear. The mech that you fight Tron in after this is mistranslated in the English script. It's supposed to be called Ferdinand, but they translated it as Feldinat. And it's most noticeable with the name of their primary airship, the Gesellschaft. And there's a few others. Off the top of my head, there's the Gustav from Misadventures of Tron Bonne. And there's Bruno from later in this game.
We don't talk about Bruno.
I still haven't seen that movie, and I probably never will. Because it just doesn't interest me. I've also still never heard that song.
You wait till we get back. You're
honestly, that's the only big piece of that movie I really remember. I've never even seen it, but it's been all over the damn internet, so that's the only reason why that sticks
by
with me.
himself.
Okay, like fan casting
I don't
idea for like if
understand.
they ever did anything new with Mega
Whenever I
Man
think
Legends.
about him, I get
If
this
they were to
funny
recast Tron,
feeling.
Rachel Lillis,
Oh, forget it! Who cares what this feeling is?
because she's already a similar character to Misty from Pokemon.
How dare he!
Oh, yeah.
I'll teach him not to mess with me. Or
She's
my
got the whole
kids.
tsundere thing going on, and her voice actress in this game already sounds kind of like Rachel Lillis's Misty.
I can see that, yeah.
Hey, you! Thanks to you, everything's a mess now, isn't it?
Huh? Aren't you the girl who's being chased by that dog?
Shut up! I don't want to hear about that. Do you know what you've done?
Huh? You're alive.
Can you be Clyde from Mega Man Legends 2? I would cast that to Eric Stewart, because Glide already
You agree to become one of the students, I
sounds
suppose I
like
can forgive you.
James.
What do you say?
So why not
My
cast
brother will
Eric
never
Stewart?
have to know about what you did to us.
Join up with pirates? I don't think so.
All right then, forget you. Fine, see if I can.
Like, for those of you who don't know Glide from the Legend series, which is where he debuted, you would probably be more familiar with him from his Battle Network incarnation. But in Misadventures of Tron Bonne and Legends 2, he had two different voice actors, but both of them went with, like, very, I wouldn't say effeminate, I'd say more like, flamboyant voices for him. Like, oh, you forgot me? It's me, Glide. You forgot about me, Teasel? I'm hurt. Like, he's a very snooty character. It's downplayed significantly with his second voice actor's performance in Legends 2. Where he's played a lot more straight than he was in Misadventures. Now, neat little thing for this boss fight that is the only instance of this in the Legend series. It's that this boss is not only, like, damaged by shooting its head. If you shoot the leg that has some exposed wiring on it, it deals extra damage and stuns it temporarily.
I mean, not bad. You're stronger than I thought. I'll give you credit
You're gonna be
for
a deep
that.
voice serve bot. Dude, if you're gonna voice anyone, it's going to be either Bola or Claymore. Like, be honest, you're gonna voice both Bola and Claymore.
Right?
And maybe,
Don't think you
I can't
won. Next
remember which one's which, but
time,
either
I
Geats
won't
or
be
Gats.
So easy on you. I'll make sure you pay for this. Let's go.
Whichever one, either Geats or Gats, is the one with the deep voice. That's with Mistress Sarah.
Indications are that the mysterious group of pirates will continue.
I
its
love this
offensive for the
TV
foreseeable
reporter. She's
future.
so hammy.
Recapping our top story of the day. At 2 o'clock this afternoon, the city center was attacked by a group of unknown pirates who demanded they be given the keys to the caves and tunnels underneath our island. The mayor has refused to give in to their demands and is currently under siege alone in City Hall. Local police are helpless in front of the power of the pirates' weapons. It may be only a matter of time before City Hall is destroyed. Hopes are rapidly fading as I've just been handed this update, viewers. It appears that the robots and machines being used to lay siege to the city have been destroyed by a
I give you an
single young
idea.
boy.
I am afraid. What idea is it?
And now, that same boy has come through the gate and is heading towards City Hall.
Do you
Wait!
afraid? Yes, I
There
do.
He is. I can see him. He really is alone. Can this lone hero save the mayor?
Like, I love this reporter. She sounds like someone from like a 50s radio drama. Like, she sounds like she's reporting that Superman just arrived on the scene.
Mission start!
Playlist where we do voice acting things. Bruh, that would be fun. Yeah, I've been wanting to do some more voice acting stuff. Haven't been able to scratch that itch much lately. Just gotta figure out what we would do. Like, I thought about doing fan dubs. Like, not the improv fan dubs that Star Productions does, but, like, more serious fan dubs. But then it's like, oh god, I'm gonna have to edit that. And I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to edit, like, an hour-long fan dub that's going to get, like, 10 views. And, like, also have to deal with the casting process and then the usual thing of, like, half the people going radio silent when it's time to record. I've been down that road one too many times before. It would work best as shorts or, a taste as shorts. Yeah. Just gotta figure out what we would do. Like, I've done some, we've done some, like, voice-acted scenes from stuff before, for fan dub stuff. Like, those old, Transformers fan dubs I did in the past.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, I could see myself doing. Just gotta find something that's not gonna be, like, a nightmare to edit. Because, it turns out that, trying to lip-sync stuff to Western animation is a nightmare. It's not like anime where they just have mouth flaps.
Yeah.
Hey, JKR, I have a joke for you.
What's up?
I said I have a joke for you.
Oh.
What did the custodian say when he jumped out of the closet?
I don't know what.
Supplies!
God damn it.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you see this? The city hall is catching fire!
Okay, you, sir, need to stop. Stop what you are doing and die. There we go. And this guy, too. You, stop it. Stop punching City Hall. That's mean. Come on, come back here. It's this last, dropship that I hate taking down the most, because it does not want to stand still. And because the lock-on do be a bit jank in this game. Like, Legends wouldn't get a good lock-on system until Legends 2, unfortunately. Because in both Legends 1 and Misadventures, you're stuck in place while you're locked on. So there's never really a good reason to lock on to stuff unless it's a flying target or, like, a target on the ceiling. And there's very few of those throughout this game. Whereas in Legends 2, you're free to move around while you're locked on. And I'm like, why wasn't it like this from the beginning? It took you 3 games to figure out how a manual lock-on should work. And like I get, it was the early 3D days. But, Jesus. There we go. Finally took care of all those guys. And now we have our next boss fight. Come on. There we go. Bon Bon. Now, I've never understood whether Bon Bon is supposed to be a baby in a mech suit or whether it's a robot with the mind of a baby. They've never really confirmed one way or the other, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
The Bons treat him as if he's their baby brother, but we don't... It's kind of ambiguous.
Right.
Also, if the voice sounds familiar, that is the voice of Pikachu. And in true Pokemon fashion, he communicates by only saying one word. Which, you know, in Pokemon, it's Pikachu. In Mega Man Legends, it's Babu. Which is like Japanese onomatopoeia for baby talk.
Yeah.
Like, I thought if Bon Bon is supposed to be a baby in a mech suit, then I thought that was, like, the most fucked up thing. But then Sonic Prime came out and had the baby Eggman as, like, one of the main antagonists and be the one that constantly gets his shit kicked.
Oh, jeez.
Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Teaselbon!
What the heck happened to Tron and Bond? They should have been back by now. Oh,
Seriously, the Bonds are the best characters in the Mega Man Legends series. I will hear no arguments against that.
I'll let them take care of it themselves.
You'll hear no argument from me.
Hey, look at the clock! It's almost time for my favorite show! I almost missed it!
Next story. City Hall was attacked by a mysterious group of assailants this afternoon, but their offensive was beaten back by an equally mysterious young boy, pictured here on screen.
Scenes like this show why the facial animation technique they went with for the Legend series has held up so much better over time than other games of the era. Like, you can get so expressive when you have sprites for the facial details.
Yeah.
Especially on such limited hardware.
All right, it's obvious that I, Teaselbon, will have to assume command. Who needs that key anyway? It might take some time, and it might take some money, but who cares? I'll use my ultimate digging machine, the Marl Wolf, to dig up the treasure myself. And I won't let any little blue boy get in my way either. Huh? Wait a sec. Bond's probably okay, But what about Tron?
Fucking love Teasel. Best character.
Mission complete! Mega Man!
Mission complete.
Yep, the whole mission structure is, like, very rarely used past Legends 1. And even in Legends 1, it kind of happens at random.
Mega Man, roll! Sorry to give you a scare like that. Don't you worry, though.
I keep saying that he sounds like Master Roshi, but like half the time I expect him to be like, good thing we hit out here on my submarine, the USS Medic. Speaking of which, how does it feel riding my dick?
Thanks for helping her.
I know it's not mine.
Master Roshi's such a fun voice to do, just basically prospector noises.
Excuse me. Your Honor, we got a new problem. Those pirates have started.
I've been
digging up the northern forest.
on such a Team 4-star kick for the past few months.
What?
Like,
They weren't able to get the key.
I forgot about one of my favorite Master Roshi quotes, aside from the USS Medic line, until recently when I saw the creator commentary on Cooler's Return of Cooler's Revenge, The Reckoning,
Who knows what
where
they get their hands
like they're
on the
surrounded by robots, and
Inspector, I want you to arrest
like
them immediately.
one of them says, "You've got this, right, Master Roshi?" "I've got many things. A house on an island, a talking turtle, chlamydia, but this
Going with you.
is not one of them."
Look, Mega Man. I fixed the car the junk shop owner gave us. I may not have been able to get it fixed in time to help you before, but next time, you can count on me. There goes the inspector and his men off to get the pirates. I wonder if he'll be all right.
If they're using weapons like they did before, the inspector might have some trouble. Not to mention
that the pirates are likely to steal everything if they get there first.
Well, I think I better go help them.
Be careful, Mega Man. I'll wait for you in the car. If you find some parts that you think might be useful,
So yeah,
bring them back to
leave it
me.
to us to fight off an entire army, basically.
Right. See you later.
Hey, Kier, if you're able to, do you want to hop into voice chat? You know, get another three-way going. Three-way call. Don't get it twisted.
Sure, that's what you meant.
Hey, here comes somebody else. He doesn't look like a police officer. Hey, it's that blue guy again. We'll show him, just like we showed that officer. We ain't gonna lose this time.
So, my question about the Surfbot tanks is, what does the inside of them look like? Because they have to be appropriately scaled on the interior in order for these tiny little Lego men to be able to control them.
What if? Now hear me out. They are integrated into the tank. The tank just spits them out.
That could be a possibility. Well, we've seen Servbots pilot stuff before in Misadventures of Tron Bonne. In that game, it shows them, like, manually operating the controls.
Oh, okay.
But that's just Misadventures of Tron Bonne.
Yeah.
Now, here's the real question. What if... Now, hear me out. What if somebody once told you the world was gonna roll you and that you weren't the sharpest tool in the shed? Now, would they be looking kind of dumb with their finger and their thumb in the shape of an L on their forehead?
You know, I don't know, William Shatner.
What Futurama's given me one of my favorite descriptions of like a vocal performance. Like one that I used that on an old YouTube comment that got a lot of likes to my, if I remember correctly, was like a video from a convention that James Rolfe was at, where he was there with Kyle Justin, and they had him. They had James perform the Angry Video Game Nerd theme, and instead of singing it, because, like, apparently, I'm guessing James isn't, like, too confident in his singing voice, he did, like, spoken word style, and, I left a comment on there that got a lot of likes, that said he really Shatnered the hell out of that performance. And I got that from Futurama. It was something Bender said in one episode. Oh yeah, it was about Zap Brannigan performing a song, if I remember correctly.
Of course.
Because what is Zap Brannigan if not the Wish.com Captain Kirk?
Yeah, right.
I'm thinking we'll get to Teasel's fight, do that, and then we'll call it a night, because I'm feeling more tired than I expected. But things seem to be going pretty smoothly on the performance end, at the very least. Unfortunately, I won't be able to raid people, because I don't know if YouTube streams have an equivalent of raiding. I think they do, but it requires like manual permission beforehand from the channel that you want to raid. And I'm not that networked with YouTube streamers. Obviously. There's one trash can around here somewhere that has a helmet in it, which is what we use to get the helmet. We have to give it the roll, though, first. Like, genuinely, if you don't search all the trash cans, you can go the whole game without getting Mega Man's helmet. It's an optional piece of armor, but it protects you from fall damage. And I believe it also makes you less prone to getting knocked down. Okay, so I already got the helmet. I just wasn't paying attention. That should go to tell you like how out of it I've been this week.
Yeah.
Alright, time to develop the helmet. Yeah, fucking... explanation of the sport car, yes, yes, yes. And now we got the walkie-talkie, so we can call the support car. That's basically our way of fast traveling. Now, I like different aspects of how Legends 1 and Legends 2 handle item development. In Legends 1, Roll just automatically develops stuff based on what you have in your inventory. But some items take multiple parts in order to develop them. And Legends 1 doesn't really tell you what the parts you need are, or like what parts go together. Legends 2, you have to manually develop each item on their own. But like if you have one part that you need but not the other part, it'll give you a hint as to what the missing part is. So like if they could find in a, you know, completely hypothetical pie in the sky new Legends game, that's definitely never gonna happen. If they were to do that, a good middle ground would be like somewhere in between the two, where like you can get hints as to what items you need in order to develop stuff, but like develop more than one item at a time automatically if you have the appropriate items in your inventory already. So, I saw a clip recently from one of the new Wolfenstein games that finally convinced me to try the new Wolfenstein games out. Like, just because it's a hilarious clip out of context.
Yeah.
And I need to see what the context is for that. It's like a scene of Ronald Reagan. It, like, remember, in the new Wolfenstein games, it's like old history stuff, where it's like, what if the Nazis won World War II? like, as Ronald Reagan trying to suck up to Hitler, who's like elderly at this point. And Hitler's just like, you know, ranting in German.
Yeah.
And pointing a gun at Reagan. Reagan's like, "No, mein Führer, I'm from Arizona." And then Hitler just shoots him. I'm like, God damn, that is amazing. Like, out of context, that's an amazing scene.
Yeah.
But I bet it's impactful in context.
Yeah.
But out of context, it sounds like he got shot by the worst person in history for being from Arizona. It's like that clip from LA Noire that I saw that convinced me I need to give LA Noire another shot, where like they're interrogating a consulate from another country, and then like one of the dialogue options that leads to Cole just saying, "You fuck young boys, you Valdez." Just completely unprompted, and then Valdez just responds, "Are you a madman?" Like, I can't remember much about LA Noire, because I played it, like, back 2011, and I never beat it. But, like, I didn't realize until years later that LA Noire is fucking unhinged with the way its dialogue choice system works.
Maybe we will need that key after all.
Master Teasel, we were beaten. That blue boy is heading this way.
He's coming. All right, everyone, quit digging. Our priority now is to get rid of our little blue friend, all right? Be careful and don't be fooled by his size.
LA Noire is also a case where I wonder if I could get away with streaming it on YouTube. Because it does have uncensored full frontal female nudity, but it's only on corpses that have been mutilated.
Oh, jeez.
So it's like, does this violate TOS? Because it's nudity, but it's not sexual.
Right.
Mission start.
Behold, the only time I ever use mines in this whole game. Because it's the easiest way to take out the treads. After this, I will never be using mines again.
A mine is terribly death.
A mine is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah, yes, that's what I meant to say. Except I screwed up.
Pardon me, but I believe the proper saying, going by the philosopher Edwin, is a mine is a terrible thing to shovel. A mine is a terrible thing to shovel.
Hello, boy.
If I had a nickel for every time that I forgot his name. It's Matt something. Played a comic relief bumbling idiot character in a show that I was obsessed with as a kid. I'd have 2 nickels, one for Ed, Ed, and Eddie, and one for Transformers Armada. Matt Hill, that's his name, Matt Hill. There's still a group cosplay that I want to do sometime, which is like the Ed, Ed, and Eddie cast in their Wild West outfits. That would be amazing. I would do Ed with his fez. And we would have to have the turkey basters. Sorry, Canadian squirt guns.
What are you standing around for? Put out the fire! Put it out!
The automated fire extinguishers aren't working.
What? But it's inconceivable!
Friendly reminder, the smartest thing that Ed ever said in Ed, Ed, and Eddie was, Canadians are weird. Which is funny because it's a show made in Canada.
That in the first place. I'm gonna get him. If it's the last thing I ever do, I'm gonna get him.
Master Teasel, are you alright? Master Teasel?
Poor Teasel. You can't help but feel sorry for him sometimes. Like, yeah, he's a criminal, but, like, he's still an overall decent person.
Oh, you're mine, Blue Boy.
Like, he's not the villain. He's just out for the same treasure as you and not afraid to destroy stuff in order to get it. Like, I think what really adds to Teasel's character is a couple bits of what can be considered throwaway dialogue in Mega Man Legends 2, which hints that, well, it doesn't hint, it's confirmed, but, like, they don't really delve much into it, is that in between Legends 1 and 2, he actually tried to, like, go the straight and narrow and leave the life of piracy by opening a general store. But the store was going under, so he was forced to return to piracy.
Makes sense.
So, like, it shows that, like, Teasel's not above trying to live a more legitimate life without turning to crime. It's just that piracy is all he knows.
Right.
And I would love... that's an aspect of his character that I don't think enough people have tried to explore.
To talk with you about. Can you come back here?
Roger. I'll head back to City Hall.
If only we'd known there was someone like him here in the first place. We won't fail.
This is another thing that I love about the Bonds, is, like, they have family meetings like this.
Just because we outnumber him, that kid's going down.
Just wait till you see, Teasel. I've got a new robot I've been wanting to build.
Like, they're not just a team of pirates, they're a family. Tron even refers to the Surfbots as her kids.
And get that treasure.
Like, even the, you know, basically cannon fodder grunts are considered part of the family.
Yeah.
Mega Man,
It also implies that Tron would be an abusive parent, considering she has a torture room for misbehaving Surfbots.
Thank you. You've done so much for us. I hope this will convince those pirates to give up. I'm afraid to think what might happen if they get their hands on the treasure. The legends say a horrible disaster will occur if it's ever unearthed. Even if that's just a myth, lately we've been detecting increased activity underground. The Reaverbots are apparently activating of their own accord. It has me concerned. Maybe there's some truth to those stories about a horrible disaster. I wonder. Mega Man, would you be willing to explore the caves and dungeons on the island and see if you can find anything? You will? Oh, thank you so much. Here, you'll need this. Only the best diggers are able to get a Class A license. The best of the best. With that license, you'll be able to get into the sealed-off sites. The ones those pirates have been trying to break into. I give you my permission to dig in the island's subgates. Just let me know if you find anything that.
So this is where, like, the next majority of the story is going to be spent, is going into the 3 subgates of Catalox Island.
I hate to mention this, but
you have to go through the 3 subgates in order to open the main gate, which supposedly houses the treasure.
If you could donate it to help with the restoration of the city. Thank you again.
So, like, Legends 1 has a bit more of, like, an episodic feel to it, rather than, like, some grand progressing narrative. And I think that works. I think it works as a more simple story. We wouldn't get a more complex Legends story until Legends 2. Legends 1 is a story that, like, can be summed up very quickly.
Yeah.
It's mostly, like, to set up more interesting stuff to happen later on down the line. And with that, we're gonna save here, and then I'm going to call it a night. Thanks everyone who showed up and kept me company tonight on my return to YouTube. If you want to see my VODs, check out my secondary channel, Arikado Archives. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, unpleasant dreams.
Nighty night.